you think he gave you the villa?
That is where the mystery resides.
Then we're off to the Riviera. And with any luck, we'd miss the whole of Mary's frightful film.
I do hope that was a prop.
You steer ahead. You're the captain now.
They better be warned. The British are coming.
What I first wanted to ask was, what was it like going back? You know, what was the first feeling when you went back into Highclere Castle after a break?
Well, I think I speak for all of us when I say we all felt very almost honoured to be back at work, because we were filming this time last year and blinking into the light out of lockdown, etc. And we were very, very fortunate. I think we felt fortunate to be back at work where so many thousands of our colleagues weren't, and also knowing that we were doing something that had a proven audience. And an audience that would be excited about seeing something when it too emerged, blinking into the light. So now that time has come and we're all thrilled.
Oh, it's the other actors.
You'd know that,
Hugh Bonneville.
That's what it's like on the first
That
day.
is what it's like, yeah. Rowdy. And everyone's really excited.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, yeah, we all have to sort of calm down before we do a scene.
Herding cats.
Yeah.
It was great. I mean, for me, it was the first project that I shot during COVID, so it was kind of nerve-wracking because I didn't really know how that was going to work. But there was so much prep done beforehand that I felt really, in safe hands, and it was just really nice to see everyone.
It's so nice to get back together. We all have become so close over the years, so it's always really exciting, and there's always that first day nerves though. I always feel when we start the first scene of the first day, am I doing the right voice? I really always freak out. But 2 or 3 takes in, it'll be fine.
You stop doing
Stop doing casting, yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not playing Northern enough, no.
Well, also, I feel like I should say congratulations, because I'm with the group that all seem to be either in a happy relationship or about to have one in this one. So it's kind of all very upbeat.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, sort of, obviously you can't reveal very much, but how do you feel about Barrow's journey in this one?
Something interesting. I think Hollywood comes to Downton Abbey, and obviously that brings a new set of characters, and it changes the mundane, everyday existence of what it means to be a servant. For once, we get a bit of glamour. For once, we get to other people to wait on us and stuff like that. So it's brilliant. And Thomas embarks upon a relationship, a friendship, which could have a myriad of possibilities. Who knows? But it's quite exciting for him, I think, at this stage.
How do you think fans are going to react? Because I think they've all been wanting something nice to happen to him for quite a long time.
How do I think they're going to
Yeah.
react? What do we think? I think they're going to be...
Thrilled.
I can't say how...
I'm
No,
thrilled.
because that implies an ending, a positive or
Yeah.
negative. I don't know. I think they'll be enigmatic and generic in their response, much as I am.
I love this story for Barrow. I think it's really
Yeah.
good.
Don't give
I'm
too
not
much
giving
away.
anything away, but
Yeah.
I just think it's a really interesting chemistry.
See that as well. Always in character. Refer to me as Barrow, not my first name, because she's upstairs, I'm downstairs. Barrow. Quality. Never switches off.
Never wrong.
I was a bit upset that obviously the correspondence didn't last very long with the guy from the last movie.
It's not my fault, is it?
No, I'm just saying.
It's not my
What
fault.
happened there?
I nearly said something, but I can't, because, it's not my fault. I mean, I'm putting it out there.
Puts himself
I want
out
it.
there, Thomas, doesn't he?
Does he want it?
Yeah.
That's the question. Is he going to give it? I don't know. You'll have to tune in and find out. That's what I should have said on the last
Tune
one.
in. No, go buy your tickets.
Yeah, go buy your
Don't
tickets.
tune in.
Illegally.
It's a movie now,
Tune in,
Rob.
illegally stream it. No, not that. Buy a ticket if you want.
Well, was there any jealousy at all about who got to go to the south of France and who didn't?
Was there, Rob?
Listen, I got to go to Bradford last year in the other movie, so you know what I mean. It swings and roundabouts.
Yeah.
They were furious that I got to go to Bradford.
We were
So it's
raging.
only fair that they go to
Only
the south of
fair.
France.
Yeah.
This was your revenge then, that you got to show off your tan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have to say it was quite a nice little number, wasn't it?
It was really, really nice. And
And
yeah.
we had to play it down, obviously. Rob, no, it was really cloudy.
Do you know that Allen Leech's pecs are trending as well because of that holiday? Your pecs
For all
are
the wrong
trending,
reasons,
mate. How
though,
do you
yeah.
feel?
I know it wasn't jealousy, but I must say, having seen it, there's the light is completely different because the light is different. There's an English light, which is a sort of softer, more sort of
Drizzly.
Grey, often.
She doesn't
And
want to
then-
say
and-
horrible.
And then there's the south of France light, which is
Beautiful.
that sort of light that why all the painters went there, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
And,
there's nothing like it
no,
anywhere in
it's
the world.
it's sort of
And
it's sort
you
of
feel
brilliant.
it. Yeah, you
And,
feel like you get away.
sparkling.
You
It's
feel like you're going
sparkling.
on a holiday. I think when you watch it.
And of course, the south of France was somewhere where anyone who could afford it used to go, but they used to go in the winter, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then it became a summer. It became a summer.
Never occurred to
resort.
them to go in the summer, which I find very amusing.
It was nothing. We didn't fight over it.
No, I think we were, yeah. I mean, they scheduled it right at the end of filming, so there wasn't sort of room to get envious because we'd sort of finished by the time they all went off to France. I mean,
So it was a
looked
bit like
amazing.
being kept back at school, but we got to go somewhere really gorgeous. So it was sort of it sweetened that, I think. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's something about finishing and all finishing all together, but we had to stay behind, but we got to do something absolutely gorgeous.
I have to ask with Myrna, so any inspiration, anybody you modelled her on at all?
Well, I did a lot of research into the time, so sort of went down the Norma Talmadge route and was watching a lot of those silent films at the time, and then researching what that was like for some actresses moving from silent film into talkies and how a lot of their careers just ended. And they were 6-7 years into a career. Some of them were in their late 20s. And that was it, retirement. So yeah, I did a lot of kind of looking into that, a risk of going too sad about the whole thing. It was a really tragic time for them. So Simon Curtis and I tried to hold on to, you know, the light kind of comedic humour that we could pull out of that situation, but also, you know, didn't deny the fact that this woman was traumatised by what was about to happen to her. So,
I mean, she's also very fun, and the accent's brilliant. Was that? Did you just kind of keep going and see how far you could go?
oh God, I mean, yeah, there's lots of different takes. So, yeah, some takes are huge, and other takes you kind of pull it back into like somewhere that feels a little bit more authentic. But I was obsessed listening to like archival footage of women's voices of the time who were coming from that area, East End of London, and it's mad. The accents are amazing. So, yeah.
I love the plot within the plot of the actors. Was it quite fun saying disparaging things about actors, even though that's what you are?
Yeah, or hearing Maggie Smith saying disparaging things about us. Yeah, it was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, Anna and Daisy are very excited by the newbies, so there's sort of two sides of the coin. But yeah, Maggie's lines especially are incredibly well pitched because it's sort of doing down actors and filmmaking from this, you know, iconic actress and double Oscar winner, and it definitely adds to the fun of it.
It's true.
Well, you
It's
had,
all true.
Yeah,
you had one of the best ones.
You realise
Yeah.
how much of it's probably quite true to people on the outside.
There's a line
Thank
about
God.
potentially them getting plastered, and I don't think that's too far from the truth. It's fair to say.
Old Rosie.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it's really funny. I mean, the irony of it, especially when Hugh, you know, those lines that Hugh has, Lord Grantham and Violet.
Yes.
You know, yeah, it was really fun.
I'd rather earn my living down a mine.
Oh, certainly. It's all gone very meta. And we now know how Lord and Lady Carnarvon feel every time the Downton Abbey trucks turn up. But by the same token, it's, you know, saved their roof from dripping too much. It was great fun churning out
Yes,
lines
and I
about
said,
us.
I have a line where I say, and now do you do it all again? And they say, yes. And I thought, yes, that's what we do all the
Also,
time.
one of my favourite lines is Laura Carmichael saying as Edith, how do you remember all those lines? Because that is something that everybody asks an actor.
I mean, did you have Lord and Lady Carnarvon sort of standing in the background going, yep, this is what it's like for us?
Well, I think no, because I think by after 12 years of us being in their house on and off, they know when to quietly withdraw and just get on with it.
They beat a hasty retreat.
I never thought of that, yeah.
You weren't going around saying sorry all the time.
You can see how the kind of the dynamic is the same though, the kind of play within a play thing. You see all the same characters, even though the set feels very different. Like, not much has changed on set from how many years ago that this time was. apart from the kind of the fishbowl cage that the cameraman has to be in.
Yes, that's
which I quite enjoy, because the camera sounded like a tractor going off, apparently, so that was quite cool to see.
What was it like going back to Highclere and filming again, doing another movie?
Oh, it was so nice, because I think especially the time we were filming, we felt extra lucky to all be back together. We're always a bit giddy, aren't we, when we all get back together?
Just a bit.
So we were like double giddy, and then we had like newbies, which is always so fun. We actually love it because it brings this whole fresh energy. But it was so nice coming back together, and it just we clicked straight back into our characters on screen and off screen straight away. We're just this big silly family, and it really works.
Well, not if that's what they're saying about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big invasion of their beautiful home. So, yeah, there were moments where I certainly felt as, you know, the lady of the house, being, you know, the captain of the ship, thinking, oh, this is what Lady Carnarvon must feel like sometimes. Yeah, it must be quite...
Mary takes it in a stride, though, doesn't she?
She does, yeah, she quite enjoys it.
They don't take extended leaves when you're filming or anything like that, then they're still there?
Don't know, we sometimes see them, but I think most of the time they keep out of the way.
I think it's easier because you just don't want to see it all happening so close to your precious things or on your precious floors. And
Well, that's what I thought in the scene where the vase is broken near the end. I just thought, does that happen on set where suddenly somebody's broken something that's actually valuable, or have they moved everything out of your way?
No, you're surrounded by literally priceless paintings all day long, which are of such value and historical worth that they're uninsurable. So it's basically terrifying. I mean, it's a very strange place to work.
I mean, what's your most memorable moment from making this film?
For me, it was actually driving up to Highclere for the first time, because for me it really was the first time, and I hadn't factored in how striking that would be, you know, how incredible it is. So yeah.
Those days when we're all together as a company are very rare. So I think there were a couple of occasions when we were all in, which must have been a nightmare for, you know, everybody else. But for us, it was just joyful, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And generally, just, you know, shooting during the pandemic will be something that I will remember. You know, it feels like, you know, in the beginning we just didn't know how we were going to do this. How on earth were we going to keep filming? So it felt even more poignant going back to work, and I don't know, it sort of made me much more present, just feeling very lucky that we can still do it. And then there's a few scenes in the film that, you know, I won't spoil, but that I will never forget. Yeah.
Gosh, there are so many moments that flash through your mind, but...
I think the one moment I remember is Hugh announcing the First Great War, when we were all in the garden, all standing there, and then this terrible news comes through, and I thought that was a wonderful moment.
I agree. Moment, yes, those really stay with you. But I particularly have always treasured the scenes when we're all together. It's a nightmare for the costume and makeup teams because they have to, you know, work through the night virtually. But there's something special when you do see all of us pretty much in the same frame, or at least in the same scene.
Yes.
Because that really does resonate with, you know, all the viewers have got their favourites, and to see everyone together is very special.
For me, the laughter, at the risk of sounding corny, but yeah, just having literally laughing till I cried on numerous days with all these guys.
I have to echo that. I think it's just a feeling rather than specific moments. Just the general feeling coming out of that job was that, that was such a relief to have such a gorgeous experience where we just laughed a lot.
Yeah, I agree. It's the chemistry and not having to work on that chemistry, and just it's all just there for free already. That's really, it's a real luxury, and it just feels really nice. So yeah.
Lots of the reactions upstairs when we're pretending to be actors, those reactions are real, because we are just enjoying what the other people are looking like or what they're doing. It's like there's so many things in this film are actually genuine, just reactions.
I mean, is there anything from the Downton set that, if you were allowed, because obviously it belongs to them and it's a real house, that you could take home with you? What you would like, a souvenir from your years at Downton?
You have a souvenir, don't you?
Well, I liberated. I was given the telegram at the end of announcing the beginning of the First War, but no, I would never take anything from the set. But I became. Well, you become partial to the areas you do a lot of scenes in. So I think the desk in the library, which is their genuine desk, isn't it? Yes, it is theirs. Yes,
yes,
it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, and very good for hiding your script in.
I'd take bits of the garden because I thought the garden was beautiful, and there's some wonderful cedar trees that grow in the gardens at Highclere, well, in the park at Highclere. And when you arrive at Highclere first thing in the morning, and we're called very early on a spring morning, and there's a sort of mist covering the ground. Hugh's a wonderful photographer and takes pictures of this, and the sun coming up behind. It is like a sort of magic castle, isn't it? It's a very, very beautiful setting.
So even taking away the memory of that.
Yes, indeed.
If you went to my house, you wouldn't think that anybody there was ever involved with Downton Abbey in any way. Absolutely nothing, but I've got it in my brain.
There's a Van Dyke painting.
Yeah,
I'd have
17 million.
Is that the massive one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the big one. It's more expensive than the house, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do.
I wouldn't mind the grounds. The grounds are magnificent. They could keep the house, but I'd like...
Actually, yeah, there was a greenhouse. I took a walk around. There's a greenhouse down there with it just amazingly well tended. Well, I'll have that.
Okay, yeah. We're sharing it out.
Yeah.
I think without Downton, we wouldn't now have Bridgeton. And obviously, there's...
That's a bold claim.
I know. there's coupling stuff going on in Downton. So were you worried that with the success of Bridgeton that they would start sexing up the Downton script for the new movie?
Funny.
Well, Downton always, like holding hands is foreplay in Downton. So I don't know how far we could go. We could also, you could shock most of our demographic to heart attacks. Get too excited.
You've got to be careful, haven't you?
You can't give them too much.
Worried.
I think they have. I think if I Andy's in a tank top.
Sexy.
People said it may be too sexy.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
There were letters.
Anna has a new black dress. That's all I'm saying.
Stop it. Show it off.
Pushing the boundaries.
Do you ever want to say to costume, please, can I just have something a little different?
Well, no, because it wouldn't make any sense. And
I love Anna's costume.
I love Anna, and I love her costumes, and it's right for her, and I love her. I love playing her, and it's lovely to step back into my tiny black shoes.
And you got to dress up as a SA this time.
Yeah, we do get to dress up this time. So, and actually, you wouldn't want to be dressed like that the whole time, would you? It's really uncomfortable.
We also get, when we were doing the seasons, we had a lot less costume fittings as well, which was amazing, which is great.
Less time to get ready in the morning.
You can have sleep in your
face.
costume. I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, it's great.
I mean, obviously, as soon as the first Downton movie came out, people were already talking about a sequel because it was such a success. So I have to ask, if they came back and said again, would you do another one? Would you all do another one? Would you come back as well?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be quite. I mean, obviously, Julian's a very resourceful writer, but I'd be amazed to see how he'd pull that one off. But sure, yeah.
I think Downton Abbey the musical is long overdue.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we should all play each other in that.
Yeah,
I think you should play Lady Mary.
Oh, I'd love to.
I should play Marcy, my favourite character.
I actually wondered we could have like an Agatha Christie kind of spin-off and it'd be Lady Mary and the Missing Husband.
Oh, that's a good one. Maybe he's got that up his sleeve for the next film.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you never know what he's going to throw up. Throw up.
Oh,
throw into the air. He's fine. But like with the first one with the King and Queen coming in, then you're like, well, what could he do? It has to be a reason to put it onto the big screen. There has to be a feeling of it being a special version of Downton. The house isn't what it usually is. So it's what would he do with the third one? I'm kind of excited. You never know what he's going to do.
I think if Julian still wants to write it and the audience still want to watch it, I think we'd all be very keen, wouldn't we? It'd be so fun to keep coming back.
We have to, we're contracted.
We'll have to just see how the fans take to this movie and, see what Julian feels, if he's got more stories to tell.
Yeah, I want to follow Barrow's journey.
I also
to
think
the south of France.
I suggested to Michelle, I said, how about Lady Mary and the Missing Husband? It could be like an Agatha Christie sort of spin-off.
Yeah, and then you need Anna Bates investigates.
Yeah. Ah, yeah. Very good.